Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with 4 symphonic works by Carlos Simon. Now, some of you may recall that Carlos Simon was the composer of the very interesting and enjoyable Four Black American Dances that's coupled to the Manfred Hoenick Dvorak New World Symphony, performed in Pittsburgh. And I heard his stuff, and it's the first thing of his that I've actually heard. Although he's recorded quite a bit, there's really been a considerable amount. He's out there, but you just can't encompass everything. But he was a good composer, and I got curious, so I got a pile of his other stuff, which we may talk about, and certainly we're going to do this thing because this interested me first and foremost. Gianandrea Noseda is the conductor with the National Symphony Orchestra. And it's produced by the National Symphony Orchestra on its own label. This was recorded back in 2023. Well, for the most part. Well, 21, 22, and 23. These are live, and 24, pardon me. They're live recordings. So they accumulated over the past, over 4 years, basically. And they're 4 large symphonic works, all very recent, composed in between 2018 and 2023, which is kind of remarkable. It's a lot of contemporary stuff. It's extremely listenable. Its language is tonal, recognizably African American in some respects, which usually means somewhat jazzy or bluesy in the manner of Gershwin or William Grant Still or some of those earlier composers who were either African American or jazz influenced or, that kind of thing. But he does, I think, have his own ideas, his own concepts. It's recognizably more modern. His orchestration strikes me as a little bit ordinary. I think he needs to work on that a bit because it's formulaic. He's after hearing the African American dances in these pieces, he's in love with sort of cliched percussion effects like, bell trees or wind chimes, those things that kind of make the music sound a little bit tacky. It was like, remember at the beginning of the 20th century, when electronic instruments were just starting, if you used a vibraphone, it was, considered to be in somewhat poor taste. I mean, it wasn't actually, neither is this. But, it's too readily associated with music that is a little bit on the cheesy side. You may want to think about that. That's just my humble suggestion. Anyway, but let's talk about the music because they're good pieces and they're fun. First we have, let's see, I'm going to open up. Oh, these are beautifully produced, by the way. Nice hardcover booklets and, really, really serious quality stuff. It's definitely worth having. And I downloaded this too. I usually get things both ways so I can compare. And if you do download it, the downloads feature little spoken introductions to each work. They're not really introductions, they're outroductions. After each piece, Simon gives a little talk, a very brief talk, like a minute or so, about each piece. And they're interesting. They're worth hearing. But let's see here. Here we go. First, The Block. The Block is a mural about a street in Harlem. And it's big and it's colorful and it's only 6 minutes and 37 seconds long musically, but the mural's big and it has lots of variety. And it's really very enjoyable. It makes a great curtain raiser. It would make a terrific opener, and it's delightful. Then we have Tales, a folklore symphony. It's symphonic in the sense that it has 4 movements. The movements are basically really little tone poems, 4 little tone poems. The Mother Box Connection is number 1. Number 2 is Flying Africans. Number 3 is Go Down Moses, Let My People Go. That's the heart of the work. That's spiritual, I'm sure. It's very, very beautiful. And, he quotes the tunes in a very smart way, I think, actually. It's not literal, but it's not like, go find it, you won't recognize it. He's got them in his bones, and he knows how to use the material in a way that keeps it fresh. And the last is John Henry. Oh my, I love John Henry, the Ballad of John Henry. John Henry, in case, for those of you who don't know, is a major figure in American folklore. And the Ballad of John Henry is the iconic story of the contest between man and machine. And he wins, but he dies in winning. It's about a steel worker working on the railway. He hammers steel pikes into rock faces for dynamite to blow up, so that they can lay track. He's believed to have originally lived in West Virginia, I think, and he was a freedman, a free black man, and he was legendary as a railway worker. And anyway, the ballad goes that he has a contest with a steam engine, which is designed to drive, pikes more effectively. He wins, but the effort brings on a heart attack and he dies. And oh my gosh, what a moving ballad it is. I remember I forget who I heard sing it when I was a kid, but I had the recording, and I remembered the words and I remembered the music. Not all of it, because there's a million different versions of the story with a zillion different versions of the words. And I don't have, the one that I knew only had, it's got like 10,000 verses, the middle, the meat of it. John Henry told his captain, let's see, well, a man ain't nothing but a man. But before I let your steam drill beat me down, I'll die with a hammer in my hand, Lord. I'll die with a hammer in my hand. It's just and at the end he beats the steam drill, and then he has a heart attack, and he laid down his hammer and he died. I used to cry. What a great story, and what a moving song. And I was like a puddle at the end of this. It was very, very moving. Great stuff. So, he has vision and ideas, and he did it. I think he said it wonderfully. I really do. Aaron Copland did a version of John Henry as well. I mean, it's very, very well known. For those of you who aren't American, it's kind of like a major topic in music. Then there's a beautiful song cycle called Songs of Separation. These are marked The Garden, Burning Hell, which is really cool, Dance, and We Are All the Same. The poetry is deeply moving. The songs are very nicely sung by Janae Bridges, mezzo soprano, and it's a work that's not obviously related to African American themes. And the poet was from Nepal. His name is Rajendra Bhandari. And I think that this is really a beautiful work, and something that I really appreciated, because I think, he's going to need to do things that broaden his frame of reference. It's great to do African American experience, and I think he should. I really do, because it's as valid a topic for musical discourse as anybody else's experience, obviously. But as a composer, you want to touch as many different nerves as possible and draw inspiration from the broadest, number of sources. And here he does that. And I think he does it very, very movingly. They're beautiful songs. And last but not least is Wake Up, a concerto for orchestra. 20 minutes in one big movement, which gives everybody something to do, obviously. And they do it with aplomb. The National Symphony under Gianandrea Noseda plays extremely well, and with a lot of verve. They're committed. You can tell they're committed to the cause. I hope that Simon was really happy with these performances, because to me they sound terrific. They're beautifully recorded. The audience is quiet. It's just music that's worth hearing. So here it is, 4 symphonic works by Carlos Simon, a composer who I think is worth getting to know. The more I hear, the more I hear. Let's put it that way. The more I want to hear. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.